Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Before we get started, I just wanted to point out that for all of you older subscribers, you may have noticed the name change. It's just GimShot Games has been an inside joke for me and my friends for years. Uh, and it's not funny to anybody but us. So now that I'm getting a little more serious with my channel, I decided to give it a name that isn't a joke. So it'll be Game Hero from now on. And the graphic that I put up is actually just a quick one I put together. I have a graphic designer working on logos and intros and watermarks and all that good stuff. So bear with me for a little bit and we will have that up and running in the next few days. But the real reason of this video is to talk about Mafia 3 and my impressions. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to briefly touch on the display settings here because there's really not much to talk about. The big deal, of course, being the FPS, which as you know was locked at 30 frames per second, but with the patch released today, now has the option of 60 and unlimited, along of course with the original 30. Besides that, there in depth of field of view, full screen VSync, and motion blur. All of those are preferential. Everything else I would just keep to the highest setting. Anti-aliasing though I would keep on low and medium, as the highest setting can be a little blurry. So unless you're okay with the blur or you are desperately in need of an anti-aliasing technique, I would just keep this on low or medium. And that'll about do it for the display settings. As I mentioned before, there is no more 30 FPS lock. I actually made a whole video earlier today. I had it ready to upload, and then I downloaded the patch. And well, you know, great for PC gamers like myself, but also at the same time bad for me because now I have to reshoot an entire video that was complaining about the 30 FPS, as well as some other things. But anyway, enough complaining from me. Let's get into the gameplay and the intro. The game's intro and prologue missions do a great job at setting up the story. It's filled with cutscenes, a quick prologue mission, and kind of a tutorial. And it just really does a good job of immersing you very quickly in its world, in Mafia 3's world. And the graphics in the cutscenes are wonderful. They're great in general, but are just absolutely incredible in the cutscenes.
Besides, peanuts compared to what we're gonna haul out of there. Is everything we need to burn?
So, I mean, the setting for this game is just fantastic. Between the great graphics, the old school cars, the great soundtrack, it just, like as I mentioned, it really immerses you very quickly. 2K did a great job of pulling you into this time period. You know, the old clothes, the way that they talk, they did a very good job. It's good to see you know, another timepiece. I was reserved at first, but I am so glad they went back and are doing that, and it's just refreshing.
I finally went somewhere they knew how to cook. Welcome home, son.
As I just mentioned, the driving, the devs, you know, it's been known for a while that the devs at 2K had made it, you know, very known that they wanted the driving to be very realistic. And watching some of the E3 videos, the physics were bad, they were wonky, it just did not look right, but they actually, now that the game's come out, the driving is fantastic. I love it. I think I like it more than even GTA 5's, which is saying something. And you know, you add that along with the great setting and the, you know, the radio stations with the great soundtrack, and driving really is just a treat. Though I obviously haven't explored the whole world yet, what I have explored has been great. And you know, this goes along again with the setting, the graphics, and the great soundtrack and the old school cars. Just makes it, again, it's really immersive. It really is a treat. And despite not having an option for view distance on the PC, obviously, I haven't had any pop-in almost at all. I even got in Lincoln's, you know, muscle car, tried to produce some myself, and have had, you know, virtually none. So I'm very impressed with that. Another thumbs up to 2K. So next up, I want to talk about the combat. Admittedly, after watching the E3 videos, I was a little worried because it looked a little generic to me, a little by the numbers, but I'm happy to report that after a little hands-on time, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really like the combat, and so far seems to be good weapon choice. And then along to go with the actual shooting mechanics is a very well thought out stealth system. It's a little fast-paced, but I like it that way. You're able to hide bodies, and there's stealth kills, and also there's incentives to stay hidden. In an early mission, I got spotted and was easily overwhelmed and died, and made sure that the next time I did that mission, I was extra careful to stay hidden, and actually it was the only way I was able to get through it as quickly as I did. So very impressed with both the shooting mechanics and the stealth mechanics. And so for an added bonus, they added a collection system to the game, which just so happened to be old school Playboy magazines and sexy portraits and pictures. And these aren't just magazines you pick up. They're actually viewable through the options menu. I'll pull them up on the screen here, and have the actual centerfolds actually nude. So for all you teenagers out there and all you grown men with the minds of the teenagers, this is great. I don't know. They might catch some flack for this, but I, for one, am happy they did this. Just an added little feature. Again, another thumbs up to 2K. So really now, after the patch, getting rid of the 30 FPS lock, my only real issues with the game, I'm having some pretty bad stutters. They're anywhere from a half of a second to a second long, and they usually come in groups of threes. Pretty odd phenomenon, and I'm having a hard time getting rid of them. I thought maybe it had something to do with my recording program, so I turned that off. Still had them. I thought maybe it was the driver, so I switched back to the old driver. That wasn't the problem. I've tried several workarounds, and I've tried turning down the graphics, going to turning full screen off. I don't get it. I'm having some stutters. Very distracting. I'm hoping that 2K can do another patch to fix this, because at this point it's distracting enough that I honestly don't think I will be playing the game on the PC. As far as I know, though, these problems aren't on the consoles. So if you're a PS4 owner or an Xbox One owner, definitely recommend the game. And I recommend the game in general, even for PC gamers. It's just that stuttering problem. Unless you can find a workaround, and your PC community is good at this kind of thing, I'm sure they will. So as soon as they do, I will happily be playing and happily be recommending the game. Now, I haven't checked any reviews yet. I try to stay unbiased with these things. But personally, despite the platform, I definitely recommend Mafia 3. It's just a very immersive, very fun game. I can't wait to get into it. I just hope that this stutter problem is fixed sooner than later so I can do so.
Hey, you gonna pull this off?
Anyway, that'll do it for me in this video. If you deem it worthy, please leave a like. It really helps me out. And if you want to be kept up to date on things like game reviews, game news, tech news, walkthroughs on new games, as well as the occasional skit, then I definitely recommend you subscribe. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.